Welcome to the Young Pro Show. My name is David, and we have a special guest here with you to share some invaluable content with you guys. His name is Roberto, and he's had an incredible entrepreneurial journey, and I'm super stoked to have you on the show here, Roberto. I just want to start off by getting to know your story a little bit. So why don't you tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, where you come from, and how you ended up where you are today?
Cool. Well, first off, thank you for actually having me here, David. It's an honor to be here. Who am I? I am someone who took my first step as an entrepreneur about 3 years ago. And as scary as that step was, it was the best thing I could have ever done. It was a home-based business. Someone introduced me to the idea that I can actually live the life of my dreams. And although I didn't know what I was doing, it didn't matter. And that was probably the best thing I did, because although I didn't know what I was doing, I just jumped in and I was willing to figure it out as I was going. And so today, 3 years later, I'm finally seeing the fruits of my labor. All the work that I put in, all the sweat, all the tears, it's all starting to be worth it now. And it's something I'm very proud and honored and blessed, and I feel so happy to be able to say that with conviction today.
Wow, so your journey has been going on for the past 3 years now.
Yes.
When you started taking that leap of faith, was it scary?
Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying, simply for the fact that, one, I had no idea that it was actually going to work, meaning I had no proof that it was going to work 100%. I literally jumped in with the blind faith and the belief that it was going to happen. And that was terrifying.
Wow. How important do you think that it is to have faith along your process? Because the truth is, we don't know what's going to happen, and we're never going to have it all figured out. So how important is it to hold on to that faith? At least for you, how important was it?
For me, it was the most important thing, actually, because that's what kept me going. That's, when those tough times came, the belief in myself is what pushed me to push through those tough times. And what really got me through as well was, I can't expect you to believe in my dream more than myself, right? All the successful people that we look up to, all the leaders, we see them as successful, huge, magnificent leaders, but we don't see, the tears. We don't see the tough moments that they went through to get to where they are today. But they went through the same thing that I went through when I took that first step. And the one thing that they had different, the one thing that they had that others don't, is the belief in themselves. The belief that no matter what was going to happen, no matter how tough it was, they were going to achieve that goal. And to them, it was either they were going to do it or they were going to die trying. And that's the same belief that I've always had.
Wow. Will Smith said that, he's not the best at everything, but if you put him on the treadmill with somebody else, it was either that you were going to get off first or he was going to die on that treadmill. So, Roberto, have you always had that belief in yourself, or was there a time when you didn't necessarily believe as much in yourself? And if there was, how did you overcome that?
Well, I definitely didn't always believe it. I actually had to borrow that belief from other people, from the people around me. Because when you work so hard and you see no result for it, that can be incredibly discouraging. But what kept me going were the people around me that said, dude, it's possible. Dude, you can do it. Keep pushing through. And so when I didn't have the belief, I just borrowed it from the people around me. And that's why I think, the people you surround yourself with is so important, because those people can either push you up or they can tear you down. The cool thing is we actually have the choice to choose who we surround ourselves with.
Wow.
So,
did you have to let some people go when your entrepreneurial journey started?
Yeah, 100%. There were a lot of people that, to this day, they're still dear to my heart, but I unfortunately had to limit my time with them. Not that they meant to pull me down, but just we were doing different things, and so I had to prioritize, how important is this dream to me? Did I want to go out for beers with my friends, or did I want to get one step closer towards my dream? And I chose one step closer towards my dream every time.
And why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
we're here on this planet for a limited amount of time.
Yeah.
We should be spending it doing the things that we love to do
Yeah.
and following our dreams. Now, some people that are listening, that are watching, may be saying, hey, well, this guy has been my best friend my entire life. I don't know how I'm going to let them go in order to succeed. So, what advice could you give to them on how they could kind of face that reality that they may have to let some people go to be skyrocketed towards the place that they want to be in?
What advice would I give? That is a good question. Because the way I see it is, I have, about 5 friends that I consider to be my family. Now,
Okay.
those are people that I used to hang out with all the time. But the cool thing is with them is they're very understanding with where I'm at. And those are people where I've been very honest with them. It's either you're with me or you're against me. And all I ask is that I don't need you to run this path with me. All I need is your support. That doesn't mean do it with me. That just means have my back. And the one thing I will say is, why hold someone back from their dream? If that's someone you care about, your best friend, if that's someone you truly love, let them pursue their passion, whatever that means. Just let them do it. Because by trying to hold them back, whether you're consciously doing it or not, you're doing them a disservice. And if you care for them, that's not right.
Wow, that's powerful. Because you are the only person that can really change your environment.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're saying is to look at other people and see the best in them and see the dreams in them. And once you have to let the people around you go forward to towards their dreams. Do you notice a change within you when you're looking at others now? Like, do you see more in them?
Oh my gosh, it's insane. Now I have this insane belief that anyone can actually accomplish anything they want. To me, it's just a matter of how important is it to you.
Wow, and that started with the belief in yourself.
100%.
Wow, okay. So when somebody comes up to you and they say, hey, Roberto, I don't know if I can make this happen. I don't know if I could keep going out with my dream. I'm a little lost right now. I have no money in my bank account. I don't know how I'm going to keep forward. Roberto, I need a little bit of advice. What do you say?
Honestly, what I would do is I would either share my story, because I've been there. I know exactly what that feels like. And I would share the story of almost every single successful person that I look up to. Because a lot of these people, doesn't matter whether you're the Tony Robbins of the world or whether you're the Oprah Winfrey of the world, these people became so successful with less opportunity than we have today.
Wow.
And if they can do it, which they did, why can't we? They're human beings like us. They bleed like we do. There is no difference between us and them except the belief they had within themselves and the fact that they weren't willing to give up. And that is what I would share, because that is also what kept me going, was the thought and the belief that if they can do it, why can't I?
Wow. So there's a theme that's going on here, and it's that, we all start at the same point.
Yeah.
We don't start higher than anyone else. We don't start lower than everyone else. No matter where we are, no matter what environment we're in, we still always start at that same point. And if we could look at the people that are around us and see and understand that if they're successful, that they were once where we were, then we can start to get the belief in ourselves that we can actually do it too. I absolutely love that, Roberto. Now, do you have a mentor that you look up to?
Yeah, absolutely. The first mentor that comes to mind is actually my dad.
Wow.
He was the person that my whole life was the one person who told me, you can do whatever you want to do. If it makes you happy, do it. I'm not a very logical person. I'm a very feelings person. If it feels good, I'm going after it. And he was the one that encouraged that. And he is a big reason of why I'm able to sit here and talk to you today, and why I love the idea of inspiring other people around us to go after their dreams, because he did the same for me. So, and I love him to death for it.
Wow, and you're a father now, right, Roberto?
Yes, a
Wow.
proud father.
Tell me about that. How has being a father changed your mindset about the way that you live your life right now?
Man, what can I say? Like, like words cannot even describe the feeling, because it's not about you anymore. It's about this little human being that you created, and I feel like I have this consistent and constant responsibility to set him up for success by leading by example. So my whole life, or sorry, his whole life, I want to encourage him to go after his dreams. And what better way to do that than to go after mine? I want to be able to be like, look, man, this was me when I was 20 years old, hustling, grinding, crying, with no with no promise that it was going to work out, but I did it anyways. So anything you want to do, I don't care if your passion is stickers, son. You can find a way to make that passion work for you.
Wow. So when in the future, when your son's, when your son is, your age or even a little bit younger in his teenage years, and he's starting to go on his journey and he's seeing this video that we're making right now, what do you want to say to him?
Oh man, to be honest, I want to be a goof and be like, "Hey, buddy, hey, I'm gonna embarrass you a little." That's kind of what I want to do, as lame as that was. But really, what I want to tell him is, I hope whatever you're doing makes you happy, and I love you, and I'm always proud of you.
Okay. That's amazing.
Give me goosebumps.
I'm getting goosebumps already over here too. So Roberto, what's going on for you right now? So you've been on this journey for 3 years. Where do you sit in your life right now, and what's next?
What's next? Well, right now I'm actually a part of launching a brand new company called Those I Love, where we essentially help people leave timed capsules for their loved ones. What that basically means is, one day in the future, I am going to pass away. But until then, what I'm doing is I'm building a capsule for my son of our most cherished memories. So when I'm gone, he's going to get pictures that I left for him, notes that I wrote to him, a video of me speaking directly to him for the rest of his life, every single day on his birthday. And that right now is one of my main focuses. All I want to do is do what I love. Those I Love is a huge part of it. I'm also working on becoming a personal trainer as well, because fitness and health has been something that has been such a huge aspect, or such an important aspect of my life, that has completely changed me. And what's next is to continue doing what I love, and to continue inspiring people to do what they love by simply doing what I love. It's a lot of love.
A lot of love. A lot of love going on in the Young Pro Show today. So fitness has become a huge part of your life right now.
Yeah.
In following your heart and following your passion, fitness has come up. How important is it to stay in alignment with your health and to stay fit? How important is that for you and your success?
For me, it's the most important thing. When I don't feel healthy, I don't feel centered, I don't feel balanced, I don't feel like I am 100%. If that makes sense,
right.
If a big part of, being fit is, I trained Muay Thai. That was like the first step I took towards fitness, and I did it, and it became such a big passion of mine, and that was that first step. And then when I realized that the discipline that it took to train something as intense as Muay Thai, that changed everything for me, because when I was able to, beat that voice inside my head that told me, you're too tired to throw another punch, or you're too tired to throw another kick, that made it so much easier for me to fight any adversity in every part of my life.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it really does. Those disciplines have allowed you to become the person you are today.
Exactly.
That's incredible, and I think sometimes we take for granted the disciplines of life.
Yeah.
That life always has lessons to teach us and always has things to throw at us, and if we could take those things and discipline ourselves to grow from those things, then we have the ability to become the best versions of ourselves. Have you, so you've obviously had a lot of disciplines. Are you still disciplining yourself every single day? What are some of the disciplines that you do every single day to lead the life that you are leading right now?
That is an awesome question. Actually, lately, for the past 2 weeks, life has just been incredibly busy, and the discipline that first comes to mind is starting my day early. The past few weeks, I've been waking up at like 5 a.m. almost every single day, and at first it's been very exhausting, but what I've noticed is that by starting my day earlier, I am 10 times more productive. I'm getting so much more done. I'm getting so much more out of my time. Right, because time is such a valuable thing. Like it's so limited here. And the way I see it is, I think my mentor told me this a few years ago, where let's say if I wake up at 6 a.m. every single day, and you wake up at 10, after 6 days, I've been up a full 24 hours longer than you.
Wow, that's powerful.
It is. That means I've been more, like, depending on how I use that time, that means I've been a day more productive than you.
Wow.
And that's so valuable. Like, just 4 hours, you think aren't going to make that big of a difference, but over time, it's huge.
Wow, over time. And that's the power of consistency too, right?
Yeah.
If we're doing the same things every single day, we may not seeing the results from it right away. Like you were saying before that it took 3 years for you to reap the harvest that you've been growing for the past 3 years. And it must have been hard to keep being consistent every day, but what kept you going the whole time?
What kept me going was honestly the idea that it's possible. That's really one of the biggest things that helped me just continue on. Like there were months where I would work and work and work and see nothing in return, and that's incredibly hard. But again, like, you know, when I didn't have those positive people around me, because, you know, I did at the beginning, but I also didn't. It was a very lonely road, right? It was a very sad and super tough time at the beginning, but what inspired me was listening to the stories of the people I look up to, right? Hearing all the pain that they went through, seeing all the suffering that they went through, and seeing how worth it was.
Okay.
Right? Like knowing that one day all this was going to be worth something, that's what kept me going.
Wow. Okay. So, could I ask you a profound question?
Oof, I like that. Yes.
You like that? Okay,
Yes, please.
Awesome. So, Roberto, think and visualize yourself on your deathbed right now.
Okay.
And you're looking back into your life, and you just finished leading your best life, your most amazing life, the best life that you could have ever thought of living. What does that look like for you?
Oh my God, I could cry right now. That is a profound question. What does that perfect life look for me? One, the first thing that comes to mind is if I'm on my deathbed, I have a big family, a beautiful family, not just blood, but friends that I can call my family. I want to look back on my life and say that I've impacted not just the people around me, but the world in a positive way. I want to look back and feel like, you know, because I was just me and I owned it, and it didn't matter what anyone else said, that gave other people around me permission to do the same thing. I want to look back at my life and feel like I actually made a positive difference in this world. Wow. I want people, when I leave, to remember me for the smiles and the laughs that we gave each other. I want to look back at the tears that we all had together. Really, the most important thing for me is all the relationships and all the people that I was able to impact, because, you know, the feeling you leave in people's hearts, to me, that is the most important thing. Like, how did you make that person feel? And when that person is gone, how did they make you feel? Because that's what's going to last.
I think when we transcribe this video and get all the wording, I'm going to take what you just said, quote it, and put it up everywhere on my
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. It's an honor. Thank you.
Roberto, closing things off right here, what is one tip that you could give the viewers, and then who is one person that you could recommend and bring to the show?
The one tip is don't ever give up. Don't ever give up, no matter how hopeless it seems. If you believe in it, don't worry about what anyone else tells you. What matters is that you believe in it. You just keep pushing forward and love yourself, because you're amazing. And the one person that I would recommend would have to be my dad. He is the most genuine human being I have ever met. There's nothing but love in this man's heart, and yeah, I'm sure he would be honored to join you guys on the show.
Okay, well, I can't wait to have him on the show. Roberto, thank you so much for coming here today. You brought some amazing value to the viewers, and I'm just happy to be in your presence right now. You could feel the energy that's coming out from you. So to the viewers, thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Young Pro Show. You know, don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook. Roberto, is there any final words you want to leave to the people watching?
I love you.
That's it. That's all. Take care, guys.